Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing lovely. I'm coming to you from Italia, Roma. And it is about 10 in the morning. I just had breakfast and I'm enjoying some coffee. And what I want to share with you is my own personal experience regarding something. This is regarding God. All right. So what happened to me once, I was in Guadalajara, Mexico, and I was traveling on my motorcycle. If you guys don't know, I'm doing a motorcycle expedition from North America to South America, and I'm actually going to get back on this adventure pretty soon, which I'm stoked about. And you guys are going to be part of this, and I'm going to show you what's up. But anyways, so I was traveling across Mexico, and I pulled into Guadalajara. I was staying in this place where a man was murdered. Okay? A man was murdered, and sure enough, I felt a presence. The man was murdered about 6 months prior to my arrival. I didn't know this. And I was literally sleeping in his bed. I was sleeping in his room. Now, I was aware of that at this point. By no means was I scared. In fact, I think that spirit was scared of me. It was a time where I was deep into ritual, and I was, opening up portals here, working with a very powerful entity that literally was the catalyst to my spiritual evolution. Now, let me tell you this. This is very fascinating, ladies and gents. When I was 16 years old, I had a very powerful and dark demon appear to me. This demon was Beelzebub. Okay, this demon Beelzebub comes out in the Bible, and it's got different names as well. It's associated with Baal. Nevertheless, this spirit Beelzebub appeared to me in a time where I was looking for spiritual connection. Now, this is crazy. I was brought up as a Catholic. Okay, I was brought up as a Catholic, and I was just not resonating with spirituality. I was not resonating with Jesus's teachings, with the idea of, the Holy Spirit, so on and so forth. And that's not to say that it doesn't exist. It just wasn't resonating with me. Okay, we all have different connections to the divine realm. And that's why it's so important to walk towards what it is you resonate with. Anyways, so this Orthodox teaching was just not for me. And I was growing frustrated, and I said, you know what? Jesus does not appear to me. I don't see, you see, I've always been a person that needs to experience things firsthand. And that completely contradicts the idea of spirituality. Spirituality is all about faith. Okay? And this is where magical practices come in. You see, the realm of occult sciences is actually consolidating the physical realm, sciences, with spiritual teachings. And this is where you're able to experience divinity. I mean, occult sciences include numerology, astrology, different magical practices. Lunar magic is one thing that I've spoken about. That is a very elementary level working of magic. Now, as I grew frustrated, I said, you know what? If Jesus is not appearing to me, I don't feel any sense of connection, this and that. If the devil exists, the devil will appear. Well, at the age of 16, it wasn't long after that a devil did appear to me. Beelzebub, okay? Beelzebub, I've known for lifetimes. I've come to find this out decades after my development. You see, I had this demonic encounter, and it was a bit traumatic. Okay, it was a bit traumatic, and it was after that I began to explore different forms of occult sciences as well as other religions, and I began to open the doors of the mystical world. I started performing rituals, started to connecting to divinity through means of witchcraft. Witchcraft was a wonderful stepping stone because it's very practical in the sense that it uses elements, it uses lunar cycles, planetary associations, so on and so forth. So by using the elements, I was able to tap into this deeper states of existence, and I was able to experience the tangible spiritual realm on this realm, both within myself and without. And all thanks to this, intense experience of encountering this so-called demon, or this spirit, essentially is what it is. So with that said, I didn't know who or what this spirit was. It was just simply the catalyst to my awakening at the age of 16. I went about my business and went about my spiritual exploration. And this wasn't the first demon that or it was the first demon that I encountered in this lifetime, but I encountered others along the way before I came back to reconnect with Beelzebub. I began to work with Archangel Raphael and Archangel Gabriel when I was studying the Kabbalah. I will be getting into depth when it comes to this. And let me tell you, working with angels is not what you think it is. It isn't love and light. It is opening up the gates to hell, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you this because we live in this binary world. We don't live in the heavens. We don't live in a world of pure light. When you start opening up your pineal gland, you're going to see all the darkness that lurks here. And let me tell you, this fucking world is dark. Okay? Now, obviously, there are holier places and others that we're able to immerse ourselves in. All right? But you go out in society, you're going to see, and you're tapped in spiritually, and you intentionally try to connect with the energies of society. I mean, even just walking in downtown, you're going to feel the heaviness of the energy. You're going to feel the heaviness of the people. You will see spirits attached to others. You will see spirits masquerading on people's faces. Nevertheless, ladies and gents, thank goodness for Archangel Michael and Raphael. I started really developing the ability to see the spiritual realm. But mind you, this experience was unsustainable because in order to really live on that plane of being in that interdimension, you have to detach from this mundane reality. So I was losing touch with reality. Reality just wasn't making sense. There was phenomena that would take place, synchronicities that would take place, and I didn't know whether I dreamt of them the night prior. My existence started to feel like a dream, essentially. I would be speaking to somebody, having a conversation, and some random individual that I don't know would come in, interrupt, and finish off some sort of message when this individual was not even part of the conversation. And we're talking about in-depth spiritual concepts that me and somebody else were delving into. And we'd both look at each other like, what the fuck? And we'd both look at each other like, exactly. Like, this is what we're talking about. This was when I was opening up these doors to working with angels. But opening up these doors opens up the doors to everything, okay? So, nevertheless, when you're doing this, especially with working with angels, you have to purify yourself. You have to embody that pure essence, that good essence, that godly essence. So you don't have to worry about. If you're opening up these doors, it's because you're doing the work. And these other spirits, these lower parasitical, these lower vibrational entities can't touch you so long that you don't succumb to fearing them or being influenced by them in any way, shape, or form. So, having that sense of self-realization, this is something you guys often hear me talk about. Self-realization is paramount. Realizing that you hold that divine seed. God is within you. In fact, that is the biggest takeaway of this message that I'm about to convey to you. God is within you, but not only within you, God is everywhere. The story that I'm about to tell you is the story that conveyed to me what I just said. That God is everywhere, including the infernal realm. I was in Guadalajara, Mexico. I went into a home unknowingly that somebody was murdered 6 months prior. I felt the presence of the spirit. Not only did I feel the presence of the spirit, I was sleeping in that individual's room. So, being the spiritual individual that I was, as well as performing rituals on a daily basis, I was doing a lot of work during that time. I was quite entombed. And I took this as an opportune moment to learn necromancy, death magic. Death magic is essentially anything that has to do with death. It isn't casting death upon someone. You could send that, grotesque energy onto somebody. But we'll talk about the repercussions of black magic another time. This spirit, essentially, I invoked it, right? I summoned it. I summoned it day in, day out in this home. During one ritual, I was engulfed. I was engulfed by this energy. It's like a cloud. In fact, I'm going to read you my notes. And I'm going to give you the dates and all, ladies and gents. Let's see.